What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm back with another boxing video, and today I just wanted to talk about my personal list for the most anticipated fights of 2017. Now, the fights that I'm going to mention are pretty much the fights that can possibly happen. There are going to be some fights that are not on this list that can also happen, but I think these are the fights that are most likely to happen next year that are the most anticipated. So, starting off, man, one of the most anticipated fights for next year is at the beginning of the year, and that's Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman. I think that's a highly anticipated fight. It starts off the year great, and a lot of fans want to see it. Most people think it's a 50-50 fight. Some people think that Keith Thurman can win the fight. He can move around and make Danny Garcia miss and frustrated. Some people think Danny Garcia is more sharp and got a lot of power and is the better counter puncher. We'll see. It's a very good fight. I can't wait for it. It's gonna be good for the sport of boxing. So that's one of the most anticipated fights of the year. Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, and you see, I got Errol Spence right in the middle because he may be facing the winner. I mean, that's something that may happen. He may face the winner of that fight. So I can't wait for that. That's what I really want to see. I want to see Errol Spence fight the winner of the Danny Garcia Keith Thurman fight. The second fight that's very anticipated, probably the most anticipated fight of the year, is Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G. Everybody wants to see this fight. This is a fight that people have been waiting on, and they keep going back and forth, and we all want to see this fight. Right now we know for a fact that it's not going to happen in May, and if it's not going to happen in May, September is probably the final hope for this fight happening. I really hope that it does happen. It's a lot of money that can be made off this fight. So hopefully both guys continue to win. You got Canelo fighting Chavez Jr. Maybe he's fighting Chavez Jr. I'm going to say he's going to fight Chavez Jr. I mean, that's what I think. But hey, it can be. I can be wrong. He can be fighting somebody else. I hope he fights Chavez Jr. It's just something different. I want to see him fight Chavez and see how the fight goes. I think that'd be a good fight. But Triple G and Canelo is the most anticipated fight of next year. Everybody wants to see this fight. It's going to make the most money if it's made. Another fight that I think is very anticipated, and that's Andre Ward, Sergey Kovalev 2. Very anticipated fight. People want to see the rematch. People think Kovalev won the fight. A lot of people think Kovalev won the fight. It was a very close fight. Very close. I mean, it was so close that it could have had been a draw. I watched the fight multiple times. I had Ward winning by a point. So, hey, it was a very close fight. And a lot of people want to see the rematch. And I think it's entirely too much money for them not to make that rematch. But I think it's going to happen. I think they're going to make that fight. You got Andre Ward talking about retirement and he don't need the money and all this. I mean, that's just talk. I think he knows deep down inside that he has to fight Kovalev again. He has to prove the critics wrong, and he had to prove to himself that he can beat Kovalev a little bit easier. So I think that fight's going to happen. Now, those are the most anticipated fights that I think that's the most possible that can happen. Now, there are some other fights that I think that the public wants to see, and one of those fights is the Adrian Broner-Terence Crawford fight. Both guys are at 140, so it shouldn't be any excuse why they shouldn't be fighting each other. Al Haymon and Top Rank, they're actually starting to work together, so that's another plus for making this fight happen. I think that they can make that fight happen probably late next year. It'll be a great fight to happen. Honestly, that's one of the most anticipated fights I really want to see happen, but they ain't really been talking about it. They kind of been throwing Errol Spence out, which I don't understand why they would throw Errol Spence's name out with Terence Crawford. That's a fight that's down the line. That's the super fight down the line. That's not a fight that should be happening right now. Let Errol Spence go and dominate 147 and do what he got to do. Let Terrence Crawford dominate 140. And then down the line, the two can meet up if they continue to win. That's a future fight, I believe. But I really want to see Broner and Crawford fight next year. Another anticipated fight I wanted to see is hopefully, Deontay Wilder fighting Klitschko. I mean, that may happen. We don't know. They was trying to work on it, but, Wilder got hurt, so he couldn't fight his fight that he was supposed to have. So that kind of messed everything up. But, hey, I just want to see him fight Klitschko. So that's another fight. What are some other fights? Even though it's not really considered one of the best fights, it's probably if this fight happens, which is Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, if that fight some way happens, it will be the highest grossing fight of the year. And it's really just a money fight. But hey, I would love to see it. I love to watch it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would love to watch that fight. It will be anticipated. A lot of people, they already know the outcome of the fight, but they just want to see it. They want to see the build up to the fight. They want to see these two get in the ring, boxing versus UFC. I would love to see that fight as well. So hey, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other fights out there that I didn't mention, but these are the ones that I want to see the most. So if you got any other fights that you want to see next year, leave them down below in the comments. I know there's a lot of other fights that can be made that I didn't mention. It's a lot. So I like I said in my other videos and before, I really truly believe that boxing is going to do great numbers next year. I think they're going to do great numbers. But y'all let me know which fights y'all want to see the most for next year. Subscribe if you hadn't, like the video. And I want to thank y'all for keep supporting me. And I'm going to continue to bring y'all boxing content. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.